This is a Fox News alert. We are just getting word that Chuck Schumer is saying that there is a deal. This is great news. It's phase 3.5. Let's bring in Senator Ted Cruz to get his reaction. Senator, what can you tell us?
Well, good morning. They've been negotiating all evening and this morning. I just got the same notice you did that Schumer says he signed off. So we'll see the specifics. The broad terms of what had been being discussed yesterday were an additional $310 billion for the Paycheck Protection Plan, in addition to $75 billion directed to hospitals and additional funding for testing. We'll see the specifics of what was agreed to, but that's at least where the deal was as of last night.
Hey, Senator, just to clarify, Senator Schumer says they have an agreement on major elements of the program, but he's dealing with his left flank, too. People like AOC want guaranteed income for everyone of $2,000 for basically the whole country. And this was supposed to be just a replacement for the Paycheck Protection Program. Now it's morphed into much more.
You know, the games the Democrats are playing on this are ridiculous. We saw this on the CARES Act, where we had a bipartisan agreement on the CARES Act, and then at the last minute, Nancy Pelosi parachuted in, blew it up, and delayed it for 4 days when people desperately needed relief. We now have the Paycheck Protection Plan, which has proven immensely popular. It is the difference between life and death for millions of small businesses across the country, restaurants and bars and movie theaters and nail salons and hair salons. And the Democrats have allowed this program to expire, and they just held it hostage. And they're continuing to do it. My message to Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi: stop screwing around with these small businesses and people's livelihoods, because the partisan games they're playing are having very real consequences across the country.
Meanwhile, Senator, one of our top stories today is the fact that the president tweeted out last night about 10 o'clock that apparently he is going to, later today, it sounds like, sign an executive order to suspend immigration to the United States. And the reason he's doing it is twofold. One, to stop the flow of the coronavirus into the country, but also to safeguard American jobs, because you were just talking about how many people are out of work. Yeah. And he says this is needed at this point. Do you think this is a wise move?
I think this is a reasonable short-term measure, a reasonable emergency measure. And predictably, Democrats are attacking it politically. They're attacking it on both fronts. You know, it's the same opposition they had when the president on January 31st halted flights into and out of China. That decision, by the way, saved lives in America. I chaired a hearing in the Senate with experts from the CDC, the Department of Transportation, and Customs and Border Patrol. All three expert witnesses told us in the Senate hearing that shutting down air travel into and out of China saved lives. What did Joe Biden do? He called the president a xenophobe for doing that. Same thing when the president halted travel into and out of Europe. Same thing today. You know, the Democrats make a lot of noise about wanting to do more to stop the spread of coronavirus, but when the president stands up and does that, all they can do is attack him. And let me say finally, not only is there the security threat of coronavirus and want to minimize additional transmission, but there's the reality of jobs. Immigration is supposed to support American workers and American jobs. When you got 30 million Americans unemployed, Democrats are flabbergasted why we wouldn't want to continue bringing in new workers, even though we have millions of workers here at home that we need to get back to work.
Senator, I know you're launching the Combat COVID-19 Challenge. Tell us about it.
Well, sure. I joined up with Kirsten Gillibrand, Democratic senator from New York, and we launched the Combat COVID-19 Challenge, where you go and help your community. You take a video. For me, I went down to the Houston Police Officers Union office, and I brought breakfast tacos and coffee, and I fed them breakfast, and just took a minute to thank the Houston police officers. They were just starting their beat for that day for what they're doing. Kirsten Gillibrand did the same thing. And we challenged three people. In my instance, I challenged Houston Mayor Sylvester Turner, I challenged Rick Perry, and I challenged Mattress Mac, a great Texas businessman, to do the same thing. Go help your community, video it, tape it, send it out, and challenge three more people. And actually, the three of you, I would love to challenge each of you. Several of your Fox colleagues have joined. but we're trying to spread this as wide as possible to get people to really make a difference in a way that's safe, but help your community at this time of crisis.
We'll take it on. That's so
Senator.
nice of you. Yep.
Excellent.
All right. Thanks so much. I look forward to seeing you again when we're not zoomed quite as tight on your head. We promise to get some more of your torso next time. We promise. Senator, thanks so much for joining us.
Technology.
Appreciate it.